Right, now how does this thing work again? Oh yeah. You put the thing in the thing, wait for a minute, and baby.
That's also how you make children.
Hello everyone, I am not Shalisa from the Netherlands from this year's Junior Eurovision, although the hat and the hair kind of make me look like a male version of her, but I am Tessellating Hexagons. I'm back at home, and because I flew home I couldn't bring my top hat, and so this trilby will have to do, and it is a trilby, not a fedora, don't worry about that. And, well, I don't know if this is actually going to be uploaded today, because today's Friday the 18th, but I feel like I should at least record a vlog today, because I don't have anything to upload today because I have one more part of Undertale left to upload at this point. But that's the Wednesdays and Weekends series, and it's not ready for upload yet anyway. But I don't have any other LP stuff to upload, so vlog instead, I guess? Really, December? Not, I don't want to go into great detail about my plans for next year because that seems to, that would be better suited to a vlog at the start of January, because that's a thing that I do. I do my January vlog really early and then complain for the rest of the year that my vlogs are late. Well, December, I could use this as a time to look back on my best moments of the year, even though that's also better saved for, February, because that's my channel anniversary. Well, actually, my anniversary is technically in December, because that's the first video, in 2013, the first video I uploaded was in December, but my first LP started in February, and so I consider that's my anniversary. I don't know. But I do have, on my computer screen, in the background, behind the webcam capture window, I have a list of all the things that I did this year, or at the very least, all of the playlists that I started this year. And it's been an interesting year. I'll say that much. And I will say, part of me saying, no, save this vlog for later in the month, because Europe's Gala 8's coming to visit me again, and it'll be Europe's Gala O December, which doesn't make any sense whatsoever. But I'm gonna save footage of that for the January vlog, I think. Because she'll be here, she'll be with us for New Year's, so it would make more sense to wait until January to cover all that. So, yes, this is just gonna be the TessHex year in review, because I can't really say anything that's topical to me, because, yeah, we decorated for the... I've started to call it Winterfest, because I've just sort of absorbed that term from Tristan McAvery, or Tristan Black Wolf. And it's a nice catch-all term, because no one, well, knowing how the Americans are and the way they reacted to the whole Starbucks cup fiasco, that would probably offend them because we're not giving them preferential treatment. But Winterfest, the general festivities that take place in winter because it's a shit time of year, so you need festivities to lighten things up, I suppose? What was this? Where was this train of thought originally going? Okay, so I flew down for the winter. Stuff's decorated. That's kind of all I have to say about this month. I didn't even take any videos of my journey down here because, it's uneventful. For the first time, my flight wasn't delayed, so that made a nice change. But I did see the most northern advert, when I was in Newcastle Airport, and fair warning, if you're not British, you probably won't get this. It is kind of esoteric. Esoteric? Whatever. But I saw this advert for Burger King in the airport. Upgrade your drink to a pint for £3 or something. I'm doing that from memory because obviously I can't see what I've edited in because I'm recording this in the present and post is post-recording. But that just strikes me as, in this country, they don't sell beer at Burger King. And so it would figure that they'd start rolling that out in the north. I'm not going to take my time to explain the reasoning behind that. Either you get it or you don't, and if you're not British, you probably won't. But that's the point. I was looking at my channel analytics recently, and apparently it's almost 50-50 split between male viewers and female viewers who subscribe to my channel. But of the ones whose location is set to the United Kingdom, it's mostly girls, but it's like 60-40. But that kind of surprises me, but hi. But yeah, so it's taken about 5 minutes to get to the bloody point, but I have nothing particular to vlog about my journey home apart from that advert and the fact that my father had these bloody Stabilo Boss green highlighter shoes when we arrived at the airport. So when I arrived, when he was there to pick me up, literally the first thing I said to his face was, "What the fuck are those?" I almost did it Vine style as well, but I wouldn't do it exactly like that because A, that would constitute making a scene, and 2, he wouldn't get the joke anyway. But the first text I said to him was, what the fuck are those? Because bright fucking Dayglow green. Well, whatever. He asked me if I think of him as an embarrassing dad. It's what's expected of a man of his age, and I don't really have any problems with it. So, this year in review that I keep promising to get to. Well, Eurovision 2015, that started in... Well, the reviews of that started in 2014, and it is funny, because this time last year, we had the songs of the Netherlands, Macedonia, and Malta all done by now, whereas now we've got a list, for 2016, we've got a list of artists, but no songs, so... I don't know, but Albania's gonna pick theirs on the 27th, I think. Assuming they don't change that at the last minute as well, like they did last time. Well, Eurovision 2015, that was a series of reviews. I think that was an improvement over how I did the 2014 reviews, because obviously I had all the flags, and... I don't know, it was just better structured, I feel like, and obviously next year's gonna be another improvement upon that, because that's how my channel works. Learn and improve. And the first series that was fully contained within 2015, Anodyne, a game that I had been waiting to play for such a long time. And, yeah, that was fun. I think the only game that I've actually done an explicit practice run before LPing. So that was fun. I enjoyed that game, and that was the first time I did a Let's Overanalyze video, which would then go on to become a semi-staple of my channel. And Sonic 3D Versus, in hindsight, that worked better on paper than it did in practice. And Laura, I know you're watching this, that's not your fault. I thought I was worse at the game than I was. And you're better than you think you are. But it was still a fun thing to record, and something that I think Alex may or may not understand, because obviously there was Dream Champ Tournament versus that took place in this year as well. When I do versus, okay, I enjoy the fact that, spoilers, I've won every single one that I've done up to this point, but it's not about the winning, it's about the taking part, because co-commentating, playing a game, you make a load of memories along the way. Like, for instance, I do keep going back to episode 3 of Sonic 3D Versus just to listen to Laura doing Iggy Azalea's part of Ariana Grande's Problem, and I've since actually memorized that rap section for myself as well. So maybe we'll get a duet Problem at some point? Probably not. But, yeah, Versus it's not about winning, although winning is nice. It's about the memories you make on the way, and so I would like to do more Versuses in 2016. It's just a matter of what can be arranged and when. Oh yeah, the Touch Detective 2.5, that was a relatively substantial project, which was fun. I enjoyed that. Hopefully, by the time February rolls around, they will have localized Touch Detective 3, but I'm not going to hold my breath. Plus, I don't have a 3DS capture anyway, so... But, please, whoever's in charge of that, please just bring Touch Detective 3 to the West! I want to play that game! Oh, Eurovision debates, those started this year as well, and ended. And... As I've kept saying, if we can find some way of devising who won each battle, we'll do another stage of that. You know, stuff like Eurovision cook-offs or rap battles or something, I don't know. We'll find some way of determining who the best Eurovision country ever is at some point. Vader 2015, not much to say about that because it's Vader. I'm gonna do it again next year as well, although I don't know. It might be awkward depending on where I am and when, but I intend to do Vader for 2016 as well. Eversion, that was a relatively short project, but still good. This is a good game, I'm glad I got to share it with the world. Don't know if I've actually mentioned it on camera, but in Eversion, once you beat the game, or maybe not once I don't know, there's a time attack mode anyway, and in that you can go back, there are 2 levels that listed, I think there are levels listed as level 4 old and level 8 old, I think? There are 2 levels, one of them being level 8 that was changed between the original version and the final version, and if you'll recall, when I was doing Eversion, when I was playing the final level, I noted how it wasn't at all how I remembered it, like, it didn't have the gimmick that I remembered. That's because the one I was thinking of was actually the old version of level, which can still be played in the time attack mode, so I don't think I ever showed that off. Honey Pop, that was kind of the main project of this year, which I totally hadn't intended. I did have a major project planned for the latter half of this year, and that's I've still not done that yet. It's gonna be sometime, it's gonna be one of the first that I do next year, though. I'm not gonna spoil what that is. But, yeah, Honey Pop. That took a couple of months. Like 4 months. That's the longest series on my channel now. It's outranked, Minish Cap Versus, whether you include the Let's Finish or not. Honey Pop is now the longest series on my channel, both in terms of episodes and running time, actually. If you include Let's Finish the Minish Cap, I don't know. Well, then again, No, I don't know. I officially, as far as I'm concerned, Honey Pop is the longest series on my channel, and that was fun. It's just kind of sad that, like, I don't want to get butthurt about Markiplier playing the game at around the same time I was, because it's not a competition, and just because I'm playing it doesn't mean to say he can't. I'm just slightly salty that my playthrough is going to get a couple of views, maybe the occasional like of appreciation or something like that. Markipliers are going to get loads of views just for it being Markiplier, even though he's doing the game a great disservice. Like, I'm not a fan of how he's doing the series, but I don't want to get butthurt about it. But that was an event of 2015, so it's fair game for discussion here. And during Honey Pop, Jazz Punk, a game that I intended to do and then I did, and to this day I'm really proud of how the final episode of that series turned out, because that was several hours worth of recording, I think, cut down into about half an hour. I'm really pleased with just how much I managed to cover. And I think that's the first and probably last and only time that I'll do a 100% achievement guide video, but I enjoyed it. And Clonoa Daughter Phantomile, a game that I'd intended to play for a long time as well, and that happened to fit in nicely alongside Honey Pop. I enjoyed that. That got its own let's overanalyze video, and I hadn't planned for that. I really had planned for the last gameplay episode of that series to be the last episode of the series, and that's it. But then I was talking to Austin on Skype, and then we had this idea of, yeah, let's overanalyze it because there's stuff to discuss. And we kept having brilliant ideas even after the end of the video, and what more can I say? I'm glad that's the thing that happened. And then after that was Undertale. And once again, I want to reiterate just how glad I am that relatively none of that game was spoiled for me. Because at this point, I've recorded all of it that's going to be recorded. I'm just waiting for... I could start editing the next episode now, but the people who did the voice acting they all said that they were willing to supply more voice acting for some extra lines that we weren't originally going to voice act. One of them has since said that they may or may not be able to deliver on that, which is fine. I can substitute in for them if you don't mind a character spontaneously switching voices partway through the video, but I can't start editing that just yet because I'm just waiting for a few more people to send in their lines. Yeah, I'm really glad that that game wasn't spoiled for me, and I'm still avoiding spoilers for it because I don't want to be spoiled about the Merciless run, because that's something that I intend to do on my own time at some point, so don't spoil that for me. But it's there's a lot to talk about. I feel like there probably will be a Let's Overanalyze video for that in the works at some point. But yeah, Undertale. I didn't realize that was going to become my main series, because funny thing with my channel is I have 2 slots for LPs, the Monday and Friday slot and the Wednesdays and weekends slot. And usually, by pure coincidence, the Monday and Friday LP tends to be a main one, and then the Wednesdays and weekends is the supplementary one. It tends to be shorter games. Like, while Honey Pop was a Monday and Friday series for like half this year, Jazz Punk and which were like 9 and 12 parts respectively, and Eversion as well, that I believe was a Wednesdays and weekends one alongside the major Touch Detective 2.5. And Versuses tend to always be in the Wednesdays and weekends slot, or in the case of Sonic 3D Versus, just Saturdays with, or just weekends with Let's Finish the Minish Cap on the Wednesdays. In fact, that was all this year as well, wasn't it? Let's Finish the Minish Cap. Well, that was another thing that happened. Yeah, it does strike me as a bit of a weird coincidence that seems to be the case, and Undertale bucked that trend by being a surprisingly substantial game. Like, I do feel like it's a bit short for a game, but I've managed to get nearly 30, in fact, 29 or 30 episodes out of it, and even then 2 of those are relatively long parts, so the game itself feels like there should be more to it, but it's several hours worth of content, so it's well worth what I paid for it, I suppose, so... And then there was the last Mondays and Fridays series of the year, Wario Land 4, which, fun fact, on the 15th of September, which was my mother's birthday, I sat down to record part 1 of Wario Land 4, and I saw, oh, Undertale's been released. Well, guess I'm LPing that then. And so Wario Land 4 got put off right till the end of this year. So, yeah. That was my 2015. I'm not sure what else I can report on, to be quite honest, but it's been fun. 2015's been a good year for me, certainly as Tess. As my real-world self, it's been a bit more hectic because university, but blah. Tess has had a good year, and that's what counts. And here's to next year being an improvement further, because typically, if a YouTuber is going to get big, it happens around 2 or 3 years in, so here's hoping, because I've got a whole load of new subscribers recently, so hello to all of you, if you are still sticking around. Way to keep the viewers, Tess. Just burp in their faces. But yes, I do appreciate all the love I've been getting recently. Undertale Part 15. The title of the episode is Surprise Yowie, and that has, 350 views at this point, compared to the episodes surrounding it that have 30 or 40, which even that is above average for one of my LPs, because it's Undertale probably, but even the first episode of the series only has about 250 views, but just because I put Surprise Yowie in the title, it's got a whole load of views, a whole load of likes, and that will never not be funny to me. So yeah. Also, part 28 of Undertale, the first episode with the voice acting, that got a dislike, and I'm not being all butthurt about it. I'm not angry, I'm just, okay, that's your opinion, but I mean, I'd appreciate it if you told me why, so I could do something to improve it next time. I've seen videos in the past that people have left dislikes on, and I can't fathom why. And this seems to be one of them, where someone's left a dislike for some reason. Okay, that's your opinion, you're entitled to it, I'm not angry about that. I'm just interested, okay, did I do something wrong? I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm not butthurt. If you want to dislike a video, fine. It's just when people do it without good reason that I get a bit upset. Like with my Eurovision reviews. Oh, this person doesn't agree with my opinion, even though I chose to watch his videos knowing it's an opinion piece. I'm gonna dislike it because he doesn't agree with me word for word. That's immature. But if you got a good reason for it, then fine. This has gone into a bit of a preachy rant, hasn't it? Or whatever. You may recall, if you watched my Honey Pop LP, there was a spider that was just jiggling outside my window just behind the camera there. And it just, it tends to sit on the window frame, and just now it came down, jiggled a bit, and then climbed back up again. Why are you still here, spider? Surely the weather should have killed you by now. Well, whatever. I have rambled for quite long enough, so I have been and will continue to be Tessellating Hexagons. This isn't my final video for this year, but still, see you next year. It's been fun. Here's to the future and all that. Goodbye for the moment. Have a nice life. Happy New Year, Merry Winterfest, etc., etc. And I'll stop rambling now. Goodbye.